Hey guys, what is up? It's Ben, and today we're playing a game called Dirty Splits. You can find it for free, just search it on Google. I'll have a link in the description if you want to download it. Alright. This is just credits at the beginning. This game is freaking awesome. I played through all of it. It's got a wicked sense of humor, and it's just hilarious. I love it. So we're just gonna wait through this.
Hello.
Good afternoon. Am I speaking with Mr. Baxter?
This is he.
This is Genevieve Vanderbilt. I require your professional help in a delicate matter. It's about a murder investigation. I'd rather not talk about it on the phone, though, so please come to our estate at 361 Prime Avenue.
Alright. This is where the game starts. It's got a pretty cool interface. That's basically like the walk thing. I think if you right click, or if you left click, he'll walk to whatever you're pointing at, and then if you left click, this thing pops up. So this is talk to it, look at it, and use it.
I better use the doorbell instead of knocking.
Yeah. Okay. So.
Yes?
My name is Baxter. I'd like to talk to Mrs. Vanderbilt.
Mrs. Vanderbilt is in the garden. I'll take you to her.
Okay, alright. So we need to talk to her.
Good afternoon, Mrs. Vanderbilt.
Good afternoon, Mr. Baxter. Thank you for coming on such short notice.
Of course. I'd like to get straight to the point, if that's all right with you.
Very much so. The sooner this unspeakable matter is resolved, the better.
You said on the phone this was about a murder investigation.
Exactly right. My son is being accused of murder. My son, Walter. What insufferable impudence.
About the murder circumstances. Who was the victim?
Dr. Bedford. Christopher Bedford. Bedford was my daughter Denise's fiancé. This whole matter is a tragedy for our family. First, the shameful way in which Bedford cancelled the wedding, and now this.
Now this. When did the murder happen?
Where and when did the murder happen?
The police said Bedford was found dead in his practice yesterday morning. The murder must have happened the night before.
Who found the doctor?
His receptionist found him in the morning, they told me. A somewhat dim-witted little thing. No sense whatsoever of aesthetics and colors.
What exactly happened?
What exactly happened?
I didn't ask about the ghastly details, Mr. Baxter. I was only told that Bedford had been slain.
Slain?
Beaten to death. Horrid, really. And the police have the audacity to accuse my Walter of being able to do something like this to another person.
I think I've heard enough about the murder. You sound like you're convinced of your son's innocence.
1,000%.
Whoa.
It is incomprehensible.
Dude, that's
to
a
me
lot.
how anyone
Are
could
you
ever
sure you're
accuse my
1,000%?
Walter of murder.
Because
He
that's
is
like
a highly respected member of the community. and
that's
has
like
never done
10
anything
times
wrong.
100%.
This is all an outrageous
That's a lot.
effrontery.
okay.
Has Walter exhibited any strange behavior lately?
No, Walter's behavior was downright normal. Nothing extraordinary. He even made the best out of the given circumstances.
What circumstances?
Well, a week ago, Bedford dissolved the engagement with my daughter. And this after the both of them had planned the wedding for half a year. The shame of it.
What was his reason for canceling the wedding?
Well, he never gave a reason. As if there could be any reason for such a disgrace. My poor Denise was devastated and heartbroken. And now this.
What was Walter's reaction to the wedding cancellation?
Well, he was furious, of course. What an outrage. My Denise abandoned, his sister, The family honor trampled underfoot, and all that in front of the entire family.
The
disgrace. Walter was forced to
disgrace.
raise his voice and reprimand the doctor for his impudence.
Did Walter threaten the doctor?
Mr. Baxter, you must understand. This impertinence, this effrontery in front of the whole family. The ungrateful Bedford reduced us to the laughing stock of the community. He soiled Denise's name as well as the family honor.
I see.
If Walter threatened anybody, then it was only in the heat of the moment. Thoroughly understandable, I think.
What was the content of these threats?
Nothing really menacing, and I don't
Time to
intend to
repeat it
repeat it either. How fast a thoughtless word can slip from a heated mind, and Walter had every right.
Has Walter gotten violent before?
What are you hinting at when you say before, Mr. Baxter? Walter is not a violent person, let alone a murderer. Just to hear that word in connection with my son, absurd.
How well did Walter and Dr. Bedford know each other?
Well, they hardly knew each other at all. I always had the impression that Bedford stayed away from the rest of our family on purpose. It was almost as if he wanted to steal our Denise away from us.
But surely he couldn't avoid you all that time he was with your daughter.
Of course not. But I always had the feeling that Bedford avoided the public eye, just as if that man had something to hide.
What has Walter told you about the incident?
Well, the truth, of course. He said he didn't have anything to do with the murder, and he was even more surprised than I that he's being accused. Unfortunately, I didn't have any further opportunity to speak to him. The police refused to let me talk to him. Unbelievable.
Where was Walter at the time of the murder?
I don't know. You should ask him about that in person.
Well, enough about Walter. Please, tell me about Dr. Bedford. I notice that you keep referring to the doctor as Bedford. Please excuse my asking so bluntly, but I'm getting the feeling that you don't think very highly of the doctor.
I don't want to talk badly about Bedford, especially now that he's not alive anymore. But I admit you're right.
What did you have against Dr. Bedford?
The man was always a bit fishy. Very close-lipped and withdrawn.
Sorry if I'm not talking a
His
lot. I'm just
constant
trying to
excuses
pay
stay
attention
away
to
from
this.
official family business shed a bad light on our name. I honestly don't know what Denise saw in such a man.
Maybe I shouldn't have picked such a story-heavy game for this. But, whatever. We're just gonna go through with all these, and then I'll look around a little bit.
What kind of doctor was Dr. Bedford?
He was a plastic surgeon with his own
It's
practice.
definitely
Sounds like
important
he was
to
very
pay
successful.
attention
Moderately
to
successful,
everything that people
I'd
say in
But I have
these.
to hand it to the man. He had a talent for
Because-
plastic surgery, but he wasted his gift entirely and only accepted patients from Los Angeles.
Exclusively from around here?
Exactly. He
um,
could have had international success with just a
You
little
definitely,
bit of promotion.
If he didn't engage in any promotion, then how did he get any patients?
That, Mr. Baxter, is a very good question. He saw and selected his patients only in person. How successful he could have been. I've never understood what my Denise found so fascinating about a man who sells himself under value.
Do you know if the doctor had any enemies?
The sad and embarrassing truth is that I hardly know anything about Bedford, Mr. Baxter. I don't know anything about his friends and acquaintances. Unfortunately, I've never had a chance to meet his family either. Bedford had been an orphan since early childhood.
Alright.
Enough about Dr. Bedford. Why have you contacted my agency?
First of all, I'm highly disappointed by the police effort. If you can call such a measure of incompetence and indifference effort.
So the police are satisfied with their main suspect.
That's right. I'll need to have a word with the chief of police. Fortunately, Brent is an old golf partner of my late husband, God bless him.
Ah, yes.
Furthermore, your agency was recommended to me by a dear friend, Martha Stockman.
Ah, I remember. The Stockman case. How is Mrs. Stockman these days?
It's Miss Meadows again. After the results of your investigation, she divorced her husband, of course. Sad story, really.
Indeed.
As far as I know, there's not any, more games than this, so... I could try to find it, certainly, but I don't know.
I'll be going then.
Please
Alright, let's
inform me of your
have
progress, Mr. Baxter.
a look.
And money is no object here.
Come on.
The only important thing is that you prove Walter's innocence.
Let's have a look around.
Looks like a Rorschach ink blot.
Let's get in the pool.
I don't have time to go swimming now.
Yes, you do.
I don't feel like talking to myself.
Yes, you do.
Well, not right now.
Okay.
I don't need any tissues right now. Besides, I don't want to take them from her.
I think he's implying that she's crying, but honestly, until you talk to her, you cannot tell. She just looks like she's closing her eyes, and I don't know.
Good afternoon, Miss Vanderbilt.
Hello, Mr.
Excuse me. My name is Baxter. I'm a private investigator. Your mother hired me to clear up the circumstances of Dr. Bedford's death.
Chris? Oh my god, Chris.
Some of the voice acting in the game is a bit lackluster,
How are you?
but
I can't believe all this. Chris is dead.
see, like that.
Oh god,
Ugh.
my dear Chris.
Ugh.
And Wally's in custody. This is all a nightmare.
About Dr. Bedford. Did Dr. Bedford have any enemies?
I don't know. No, I don't think so.
Had there been anything
think
unusual
she
about Dr.
killed him.
Bedford's behavior lately?
Yes.
All too overdramatic.
Yes, Chris had been acting strange all week. He wasn't himself. Not the man I knew. The engagement.
We were
we were
engaged,
engaged, and he called it off. Chris let me down.
Push her into the pool.
But my Chris would never
Tell her
have
to get
done
over it.
such a thing.
He's dead.
I don't understand.
It's fine.
What was the reason
You
he
broke
gave
it
for
off.
the
You shouldn't be
separation?
You should be happy that he's dead.
He said it would be better for me. He didn't say anything else. No reason and no hint. Nothing at all. I still don't understand all this. Wally was so furious. So furious. And now Wally is... Oh God.
Please, calm down, Miss Vanderbilt.
She's being
If your brother is innocent,
way
I
too
will find
dramatic
out
about
for you.
this.
If Walter is innocent, there is no question about it. It's self-evident. We are talking about my son Walter, a Vanderbilt.
I really,
Thank you.
really,
Thank you,
She
Mr.
annoys me.
Baxter.
well, whatever.
Had Dr. Bedford always stayed this long in his office?
Chris often stayed late to prepare for upcoming surgeries or attend to some accounting, but he always told me. He never stayed late without my knowledge.
Did he notify you this time too?
No, he was this busy all week. Now that you mention it started a few days before he called off the engagement. Chris missed appointments. He excused himself from dinner every evening. And finally, he disappeared into his practice altogether.
right.
Until... My God.
Could Dr. Bedford have been waiting for a patient that night?
No.
I don't think so. Chris never saw any patients that late.
How long had the two of you known each other?
It had been almost 4 years now, and we were engaged for half a year. Until last week.
Is it possible that another woman...
She is
Mr. Baxter, that is
definitely being way
outrageous.
too overdramatic.
Pardon the question, please. But I have to consider every possibility if we want to get ahead on this.
Yes, No, I understand. No offense taken. No, I don't think there was another woman. Then again, Chris was so different over the last days. Like a complete stranger. I'm not sure about anything anymore.
Enough about Dr. Bedford. A few questions about Walter.
She definitely did it.
Can you imagine any reason why your brother would murder Dr. Bedford?
Wally didn't take it too well that Chris announced our separation so surprisingly, and in front of the whole family. Everyone was so surprised. I still can't believe it myself. Everything went so fast. Wally became enraged. He cursed Chris, and
And threatened him too?
Yes, but he didn't kill him. No, surely not. Not Wally.
Do you know where Walter was at the time of the murder?
No, I don't know.
Has your brother become violent before?
Mr. Baxter, my Walter is not violent.
Shut up, lady.
Wally does have a bit of a temper. He is very proud, my little brother. Now that Daddy isn't around anymore, he's the head of the family. He is very keen to keep our reputation clean. And he'd always get very angry if someone dragged our name through the dirt. And he's always trying to protect me. But Wally wouldn't murder anyone. No, Wally wouldn't do that.
No.
Not my little brother.
Actually, you do, because you
Enough
killed
about
him.
Walter.
You killed him. I know
Thank
it.
you very much for your
Killed
time.
him.
I don't want to disturb
Killed
you
him.
any longer.
I'm
You
disturbed.
killed him.
Yes. Goodbye.
Good lord. Okay. Alright, let's go. Okay. Let's just leave. Let's take the car.
Sure, I'd love to, but I'm missing two things.
The
The
car
car keys and the criminal energy.
I don't know. I think you should do it anyways. We'll go to the crime scene. And I think for right now, this is where we're gonna end it. So far not much has happened, but it will get interesting soon, trust me. Alright, so I guess I will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching, and like and subscribe if you enjoyed. Alright, thanks. Bye.